November 13, 2025, 2:47 a.m., Kirovskoye airfield located in Russian-occupied Crimea. In a span of just 75 seconds, a critical Russian logistical node was eliminated. The facility in question was the central repair hub for the Orion drone fleet. This center represented an investment of approximately $250 million. The strike resulted in the total destruction of the only dedicated maintenance facility for these aircraft in Crimea. Intelligence estimates suggest that up to 18 Orion surveillance drones were inside at the time. These unmanned aerial vehicles have an estimated unit cost of $5 to $10 million. Following the strike, the inventory was reduced to twisted metal and debris. This operation was not a result of chance. It was a calculated 75-second sequence of destruction. Russian forces were seemingly unaware of the impending threat. Ukrainian intelligence services had monitored the site for an extended period. They tracked patterns of movement and operational tempo. The opportunity arose when a significant number of high-value assets were concentrated in a single location. Surveillance of the Kirovskoye airfield was conducted using satellite imagery and other reconnaissance assets. Then, the critical intelligence arrived. A large cluster of Orion drones numbering between 10 and 18 was grounded simultaneously. Some units required engine overhauls. Others were undergoing repairs for electronics damaged by jamming countermeasures. For the Ukrainian command watching from hundreds of miles away, the window of opportunity had opened. The operation was authorized. At 02:45 a.m., 2 Flamingo FP-5 missiles were launched. These munitions did not ascend to a high cruising altitude. Instead, they maintained a flight path, skimming the desert floor at just 160 feet. They utilized terrain masking to avoid detection. The onboard guidance systems fused GPS data with inertial navigation. This combination minimized their radar cross-section against initial jamming attempts.
Confirmed, correcting
In a bunker near Yevpatoria, an operator for the Russian S-400 air defense system detected the threat. The radar screen displayed 2 fast-moving targets. The response was disciplined and immediate. The operator initiated the engagement sequence. 2 40N6 interceptor missiles were launched. These multi-million-dollar interceptors accelerated toward the targets at Mach 14. The crew assessed the engagement as successful. However, the interception failed. 2:46 a.m. The interceptors flew past the targets into empty airspace. The first layer of the Russian integrated air defense network had been breached. In Kyiv, command confirmed the completion of Phase 1. The order was given to deploy the BARS drones. A significant vulnerability exists within the Russian S-500 system guarding the Kerch Bridge. The system is optimized to track ballistic missiles in the upper atmosphere. It effectively functions as a high-altitude shield. However, it possesses a blind spot regarding low-altitude threats. Objects flying below 500 feet can slip underneath its radar horizon. While the S-400 system is capable of low-altitude detection, it has limitations. The system experiences a processing delay of approximately 3 seconds when locking onto small, high-speed targets. In the Yevpatoria bunker, the operators realized the engagement was failing. For a missile closing at high velocity, a 3-second delay is catastrophic. The 40N6 interceptors missed their targets. Back at the Ukrainian command post, a new variable emerged. A 15-mile-per-hour crosswind had pushed the Flamingo missiles 3 degrees off course. Operators manually entered a course correction via fiber optic link. The missiles returned to their intended trajectory. The first Flamingo missile impacted the S-400's 92N6E gravestone engagement radar. This impact occurred near Yevpatoria, approximately 30 miles west of the primary target. The signals on the Russian radar screens turned to static followed by a total
Charlie
loss of
reporting heavy
data.
losses. Confirming 3
The
active groups remain in the
240-pound
sector,
warhead
proceeding with the mission.
vaporized the radar array. The second missile struck a critical support node for the S-500 system. This strike further degraded the air defense network.
We almost done with the stabilizer?
A 50-mile-wide corridor in the air defense coverage was now open. The drone swarm began to move through this gap. Following the missile strike, the BARS drone missile entered the airspace. This platform is designed for high-speed traveling at 500 miles per hour. It maintained an altitude of just 200 feet. With the primary radar systems neutralized, the Russian defense network was compromised. However, secondary defensive layers remained active. The WW2 electronic warfare system was deployed in a nearby field. Its primary function is to flood the spectrum with electromagnetic noise. This interference is designed to sever the link between drones and their operators. The crew activated the jamming array, blanketing the sector with energy. Under normal circumstances, this would neutralize radio-controlled
It's coming
aircraft.
from up there. We need to shut it down now.
However, the BARS drone operates
I'm on it.
autonomously. It navigates using internal inertial guidance and optical terrain matching. It is a fire-and-forget weapon.
Get down, take cover.
The Russian electronic warfare crew monitored their systems, believing the jamming was effective.
Get out, move. Everybody to the main
They
exit
were
now.
unaware that the incoming threat was immune to electronic countermeasures. The BARS drone acquired the electronic warfare truck visually. The impact was direct. The explosion destroyed the electronic warfare system protecting this sector of Crimea. For the next 90 seconds, the airspace was effectively undefended. 10 FPV drones moved through the breach. These units were small, highly maneuverable loitering munitions. They approached in 5 pairs, flying below 130 feet. The final line of defense at the airfield consisted of 1 Panzer S-1 and 2 Tor M2 systems. Inside the command vehicles, Russian operators acquired the new targets. The commander of the Tor M2 ordered the engagement.
Divert the drones.
2
Focus on the
missiles
east
launched from the vertical tubes. The first pair of FPV drones was intercepted and destroyed. The second Tor system fired, neutralizing 2 more drones. 4 hostile units were eliminated. The
sector. Repair
Panzer
hub is clearly
S-1
compromised,
system
sir.
then
They have control of the
engaged.
main access points.
And the asset
Its
at location
radar
4 is
locked
confirmed
onto the
capture.
next
We need to
pair of
revise
incoming
extraction strategy by
drones.
0800.
Missiles were launched, destroying targets 5 and 6. The automated systems were performing as designed. However, the remaining 4 drones altered their attack profile. They separated, approaching the air defense units from 4 distinct vectors. The Panzer's automated targeting system
Sector
struggled to
4, stabilize the
prioritize
support
the
beams.
threats.
We are initiating the lift
The
sequence
system
on my mark.
warnings indicated target saturation. The automated tracking could not engage multiple vectors simultaneously. The commander switched to manual control of the 30mm cannons. The twin cannons fired a barrage of high-explosive shells. A 7th drone flew into the line of fire and was destroyed. An 8th drone attempted to maneuver, but was struck by shrapnel. It crashed into the ground short of the target. 8 of the 10 drones had been neutralized. The 2 remaining Ukrainian operators navigated through the debris and turbulence. Video feeds were degraded by signal interference and shockwaves. Despite the loss of the other units, the mission continued. One operator observed the Panzer's
everything is
cannons
clear.
tracking
You
the
can proceed to
crash
the
of
loading
the
dock.
8th drone.
Thank you.
Seizing the opening, the operator put the drone into a dive using smoke for concealment. The Russian gunner was focused on the thermal sights and did not detect the approach. The first surviving drone struck the Panzer's radar array. The impact shattered the system's primary sensor suite. Before the crew could assess the damage, the second drone attacked from the flank. It struck the missile launch tubes of the Panzer system. The airfield's primary close-in defense system
The sealant
was
looks
now
fresh.
disabled. The command vehicle was intact,
That
but the
indicates high
weapon
voltage.
system
Be careful.
was non-functional.
Look at the stress concentration
The
right at
defensive
the trailing
perimeter had been breached.
edge. The simulation data matches
The heavy
visual
payload
damage.
assets
Yeah.
began their final approach. In the remaining active Tor M2 system, the crew monitored the airspace. They represented the final defensive capability for the base. A new target appeared on the radar. It was larger and slower than the FPVs. This was an FP2 heavy drone flying steady at 80 feet. The tour operator achieved a radar lock. A single 9mm 331 missile was launched. The intercept was calculated perfectly. The missile struck the drone 1.5 miles out. The FP2 drone exploded in a massive fireball. The crew believed they had successfully repelled the attack. However, this drone was a tactical decoy. Its mission was to be intercepted at that specific coordinates. The explosion created a dense cloud of black smoke and metallic debris 500 feet wide. This cloud functioned as a chaff corridor. The optical sensors of the Tor M2
Holding
were
position
blocked by the
perfectly.
soot.
Noted.
The radar return
stabilization
was
is
scrambled by
within
the
parameters.
cloud of metal fragments. The defensive system was effectively blinded by its own successful interception. Through this smoke screen, the second FP2 heavy drone advanced. Guided by a fiber optic cable, it was immune to radio jamming. The operator utilized the smoke cloud for visual cover. The drone skirted the southern edge of the airfield, hugging the terrain. It remained undetected by the blinded Tor crew. The drone approached the main hangar from an 18-degree angle. The target was the thin steel roof of the structure. Traveling at 100 miles per hour, the drone penetrated the roof. Inside, the 231-pound warhead detonated. The warhead utilized a Monroe effect-shaped charge. The blast focused a jet of molten copper and superheated plasma. This jet traveled at over 15,000 feet per second. The plasma stream sliced through the Orion drones parked in the maintenance bay. Fuel cells and batteries ignited instantly. A catastrophic chain reaction began consuming the fleet inside.
Readings look good across
Simultaneously,
board.
the third and
Agreed.
final
Let's log in
FP2
and
drone
check the second
executed
unit.
its attack run. It bypassed the main hangar targeting the flight line. A row of Mi-8 helicopters was parked on the tarmac. These aircraft were fully fueled. The drone struck the lead helicopter. The explosion ignited 26,000 pounds of aviation fuel. A river of burning fuel flowed across the tarmac. The fire spread to the adjacent smaller hangar. The crew of the Tor M2 could only observe as the fire engulfed the facility. With their sensors blocked and the threat already on the ground, they were powerless to intervene. The attack sequence concluded. The drone fleet stationed at Kirovskoye was destroyed. The smoke plume from the airfield was visible for 50 miles. It rose 3,000 feet into the atmosphere. Satellites from the NASA FIRMS program
Here are the maintenance
registered a
documents for
significant
Thank
thermal
you.
anomaly.
I'll review them now.
The fires burned for 7 hours, with core temperatures exceeding 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The financial exchange ratio of the operation was significant. The estimated cost of the Ukrainian munitions was approximately $70,000. In exchange, up to 18 Orion drones were destroyed. The total value of the lost aircraft exceeded $100 million. Additional losses included the hangar's helicopters and the S-400 radar components. Estimates placed the total damage at roughly $250 million. However, the strategic loss exceeded the financial cost. The facility was the only high-level repair center for Orion drones in the Black Sea region. Russia's capacity for long-range aerial reconnaissance was severely degraded. Operational estimates suggest a 70% reduction in surveillance capabilities. For the immediate future, naval operations in the Black Sea will lack effective aerial coverage. The ability to detect launch sites for Storm
Let's move
Shadow
this one here
missiles
and
has
pin
been
the revised schedule
compromised.
right below it. Got it. I'll make
The
a note of change.
psychological and strategic impact extends to command
So the workflow
decisions in
starts here with
Moscow.
the propulsion system check.
The
We move to
perception of
camera
Crimea
double
as a
integration,
secure
then the battery
rear area was
calibration.
challenged. Russian command faces a dilemma regarding resource allocation. They must decide whether to keep advanced air defense systems on the front lines. Alternatively, they may redeploy these systems to protect rear
Monitoring the
area
sustained
logistics.
vibration increase. Levels are currently
Redeploying
holding steady
assets
within
to the
grid
rear
limits.
leaves frontline units vulnerable. However, leaving high-value assets unprotected invites further deep strikes. The operation forced the Russian military into a defensive posture. Air defense units were ordered to pull back to protect infrastructure. This redeployment created gaps in the frontline coverage. These corridors are now open for potential future missile strikes. The operation at Kirovskoye demonstrated the efficacy of asymmetric warfare. Complex, high-value targets were neutralized by coordinated, low-cost systems. This represents the evolving nature of modern conflict. Strategic dominance is determined by precision and intelligence rather than sheer mass. The efficiency of the strike reshaped the operational landscape in the Black Sea. Intelligence suggests that Russian adaptations to this tactic were implemented too late to prevent the loss.